our wedding day.
Welcome to the GCN show.
Welcome to the GCN show!
From the Tour de France Flamme Rouge, welcome to the GCN show!
Welcome to the GCN show. This week we analyse in depth exactly how Chris Froome won the Tour de France.
And you could win a yellow casque Protona helmet as used by Team Sky on the final stage. We use casque helmets too. Plus, we've got more from the Tour and all of your usual favourites. Let's go. Caption of the week, and last week it was this photo of Chris Froome going for a jog up Mont Ventoux.
Yeah, we have a winner, and that winner is Andrew K, who said, after the race, Froome says, "I didn't want to run, it was unfortunate." Now, we went with Andrew because that's our kind of level, isn't it?
Slightly above our level, to be fair.
Yeah. Get in touch with us on Facebook and we'll get you out some GCN swag in the post.
This week, it is this photo of Peter Sagan taking a pit stop on the final climb of stage 17.
Yeah, we shall get you started. I've heard of fast release cars, but that was ridiculous. If you think you can do better than that, then just leave your comments in the section down below.
Please beat that caption.
Chris Froome wrapped up yet another Tour de France on Sunday, and in doing so put himself up with other names such as Greg LeMond, Louison Bobet and Philippe Chase as a three-time winner of the event.
But how exactly did he win the race? Well, whilst Team Sky were without a doubt an incredibly dominant force in the mountains, the source of Froome's 4 minute and 5 second winning margin over second place Romain Bardet is actually very interesting.
Yeah, it is, so let's delve into it now. So he took 26 seconds over his rivals, including time bonuses, after that daredevil descent into Bagnères de Luchon. He took a further 12 seconds, including another time bonus, in the crosswinds of stage 11. And then on stage 13's individual time trial, he put 51 seconds into his closest GC rival, that was Bauke Mollema, and 2 minutes 52 into Bardet himself. And another 42 seconds in the last individual time trial to Bardet.
Don't forget, Dan, he ran up Ventoux quicker than any of the overall favourites too. Those times back to Bardet add up to 4 minutes and 9 seconds, which doesn't include Bardet's 10-second winning bonus for his victory on stage 19. But it does go to show that the two riders were actually very, very closely matched in the mountains, and that Froome was consistent and took the time elsewhere.
So that is in quite contrast to the previous two tours that he has won in 2013 and 2015. On both those occasions, he's pretty much annihilated all of his rivals on one particular mountain stage. So in 2013, that was to Axe Trois de Main, and then last year that was Lapierre Saint-Martin. Both times he's put more than a minute into his closest GC rivals.
If the 2016 Chris Froome wasn't more dominant in the mountains, maybe it's just the case that he's a complete rider. He descended, climbed, time trialled and crosswinded, is that a word?
But we'll make it a word.
It is
crosswinded better.
He crosswinded better than any of the other overall favourites en route to his victory.
Yeah, so maybe it's back to the drawing board for all of those other contenders before the 2017 Tour de France, and maybe that drawing board will include a picture of a dropper seat post. Heard it here first.
Tech of the week this week is something that Dan actually spotted over at the Tour de France last week. We actually put it up on our Facebook page, but if you haven't seen it, here is the latest development for FSA's electronic group set.
Well, we just popped along to the Bora Argon team to do a couple of bits with them, and we've noticed out here at the back of the truck that Shane Archbold has got a bike complete with an FSA electronic group set. Now you may remember this time last year, he spotted one at the Ethics Quick Step truck for Michał Kwiatkowski, but it actually wasn't raced at last year's Tour de France. But we understand, and looking at the number, we can assume that it will be at the end of this year's. Now I did just catch up with someone from FSA for around about 1 minute before he seemed to shoot off. He was slightly aloof, so I haven't got too many details on it at the moment, but what he did say is that the only cables run from the battery, which is up here, down the seat tube to the front mech here, and then between the two mechs along the chainstay here. From here forwards there are no cables at all to do with the gears, only the brake cables. He also told me that the levers up here, which look particularly neat, will come in two different sizes, and that's both for people with smaller hands, but also because they found an aerodynamic advantage to having some smaller brake levers, which they say can be good for sprinters. And the rear mech here also looks particularly neat, I think. There's no decals on any of it at the moment, so we're not sure exactly what the name of the group set's going to be, but hopefully we'll get a full look and all the details very soon.
It's time for
Wattage Bazooka! Right, we should kick you off with the viewer wattage bazooka, and this week it goes to someone I found on Facebook from almost a month ago, and that name is Duncan Clark. Now, he did a race on a unicycle and figured out that he'd averaged 149 RPMs for 25 minutes at 16 miles per hour. Hashtag wattage bazooka, well deserved, I think you might say.
Yeah, well done, Duncan. And the pro wattage bazooka goes to Andre Greipel, who did 1,755 watts on a day that wasn't even a sprint day, stage 17 at the Tour de France.
Normalised power 332 watts. It was quite hilly. I don't know why he was sprinting that much on a mountainous day. Maybe he was training for that victory on the Champs-Élysées.
Incredible.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
If you couldn't guess, this week's Cycling Shorts is going to be all about the Tour. And we're going to start with some kind of sad news for Tom Dumoulin, who was dominant in the first individual time trial at the Tour de France and very close second to Froome in the second. The day after the second time trial on stage 19, he crashed and fractured his wrist on a descent, and so it looks like he could be out of the Olympic time trial.
Yeah, it's a huge blow for him. He focused almost his entire 2016 season around that Rio Olympics individual time trial. So it's a blow for him, it's a blow for the Netherlands, and it's also a blow for all of us that are going to watch the race. I was looking forward to seeing that battle with the other time trialists.
Andre Greipel, who has a record of winning a Grand Tour stage in every Grand Tour in which he's participated, managed to keep up his record, but only just by winning on the last day on the Champs-Élysées in Paris, which I guess if you're a sprinter, that's the stage that you want to win, ahead of none other than Peter Sagan.
Yeah, he left it late, Greipel, didn't he? But well done, he did manage to keep up his record. And talking of Sagan, he also kept up a record, that of winning the green jersey at every single Tour de France that he's ever done, which is 5 now. Quite an incredible feat. And this year, his winning margin, well, it was more than double the second place finisher Marcel Kittel, albeit with Marc Cavendish having pulled out of the race before the end. Now, that is something that even Sagan has never managed to do before. So the green jersey contenders are also going to have to go back to the drawing board before the 2017 edition of the race. And that drawing board presumably will have a plan to stop him even getting to the start line, because that seems like the only way that Sagan's not going to win green at the Tour.
Now, Dan, I don't know if you saw this as well, but Sagan is rumoured to have signed with Bora Argon 18, as they're known this year.
Yeah, I think Tinker himself let slip, didn't he?
He did. For €6 million a year.
Oh,
it's rumoured.
Good work if you can get it.
If we go back to our final rest day wrap-up of the Tour de France, you and Matt spoke a lot about the globalisation of this year's Tour de France. And by the end of the race, there were stage winners from 10 countries. So France and Spain, traditionally, they're going to win a lot of stages at the race, right? They left it very late. They won on stage 19 with Bardet and on stage 20 with Izagirre. But it's a good sign, I think. Yeah,
and we should also mention the other 2 jersey winners as well. So Adam Yates won the white jersey as the best young rider, and actually was agonisingly close to finishing on the actual final podium of the general classification. And Rafa Majka of Team Tinkoff, well, he won the polka dot jersey as best climber for the second time in his career.
Amazingly, for a GCN show about the Tour de France, we are yet to mention Nairo Quintana.
No, true.
He never quite seemed to be himself this year, despite, being hotly tipped by certain GCN presenters who will remain nameless.
And the overall GC will be won by Nairo Quintana.
But yeah, although he was there in the mountains, he wasn't challenging, he wasn't attacking like we've seen him do in previous years. And interestingly, after the race, he withdrew from the Colombian Olympic team, citing an unknown illness or allergy.
Yeah, it was a shame for the race that he wasn't his normal self, that's for sure. Okay, away from the Tour de France, because there have been some other bits of cycling news as well. Tom Boonen has signed a new contract with Etixx Quickstep, which will take him through to the end of 2017 with that team that he's been with for so long. And Bjarne Riis has announced his comeback to the sport as well. He'll take over the running of 3rd Division outfit in Denmark, Team Virtue Pro Velo Concept, with the aims, the aspirations and the goals to take it up to the World Tour in the coming years.
I thought we should close Cycling Shorts, Dan, with one last Tour de France stat. So, hopefully you entered our Orbea bike competition because the prize was incredible. But after that competition, we asked you to name the standout rider of your Tour de France so far. We gave you 5 riders, and the winner was actually Peter Sagan with 30.72% of the vote, from Chris Froome, who had 30.41% of the vote.
We're now going to go for a bit of a spin, aren't we? Huh?
Competition time. We know that you lot love a competition. So first up, we're going to announce the winner of last week. You'll remember the competition prize was an amazing Orbea Orca M10 worth of $5,000. Goodness knows how much that is in other currencies. Anyway, we do have a winner, and that winner is Marco. Tagarelli. Well done, Marco. I think Larcy will be in contact with you to tell you that you've won, and we'll send that bike out as soon as possible.
We're not going to go competition free this week though. This week you can win a Kask Protone helmet. These are the ones that we use, but in the yellow edition that Team Sky rode in on the Champs-Elysees to celebrate Chris Froome's overall victory. How cool is that?
How do they win that, Larcy?
There is a link right up here or down in the description that you can click and enter. And don't forget to share it with your friends too.
It's time now for hack/bodge of the week. I did it with you, Larcy, because you get the slash the right way around. Anyway, we shall start off with a homemade bike stand, and it came in from Marco Vesco, whose grandfather built it for him 4 years ago, and it's still going strong. As you can see, it utilises the vice in the garage and a bit of a prop. Looks like it works just fine.
That's really good. That is a definite hack.
Hack.
Devon Mooney has made his own magnet mount for his SRM.
Yeah, it's bodged that onto the bottom of the bottom bracket. I say bodged, we haven't decided yet, have we?
I'm going to go for hack. I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
What about you?
Hack. Yeah, it looks pretty neat, doesn't it?
Okay.
Okay, on to another one from Facebook, Leave Richard. Sorry if I've mispronounced your first name. He has made a shoehorn into an ass saver with some duct tape. That is a definite bodge, and I'm not even certain that that would do very much. It would only protect a very small proportion of your ass.
I think Laves has said it best when he says not very effective. If you'd like an effective ass saver, we do sell GCN ones in our shop. Next up, Cookie Monster, hashtag GCN Hack, GCN Road Bike. I can't tell what Cookie Monster's done. Oh, it's a number holder.
You can't tell what he's done, look at it.
What is it?
It's a seat clamp.
All right.
I can't believe you couldn't see what he'd done.
That's a bodge.
Those have you got any lenses in those glasses?
No, they're just to make me look more intelligent.
Right, Callum Belfield has found a replacement for his £200 Garmin with a £65 Sony phone, which he found online. Full use of Ant Plus with IP bike, 4.3-inch screen. Looks like it probably works very well indeed.
You can get Pokemon Go as he's on the go.
That is true.
Joshua Lim sent this one in. I was visiting a local bike shop in Korea and found this mirror perimetered by an old zip tub rim. That's cool. That's a hack.
This is also very cool. JFP Your Bike. Put old jersey, I crashed in mine, sleeves off, sew up the holes, and you have yourself a kit bag with a zip.
That's pretty cool. Next up, Martin Corner. Martin's very confidently stated hashtag hack. And what he's done is he has fixed his physique saddlebag at work.
That's pretty cool. I'd say hack.
Time well spent.
And the biggest bodge of all, we've left till last.
Yeah, I was going to say this. I spotted this in a drop a post video, Dan, and I know that a drop a seat post could in fact be a hack because it's a bike handling game changer, but 3 STI levers?
Yes, well, that Canyon Ultimate has got aero bars on it, and we couldn't figure out how to put the normal lever from the drop a seat post onto the aero bars. So somebody, a friend of mine, wasn't me, managed to do it with an STI lever. Didn't look the best, but it worked.
Efficient use of insulating tape as well to hold the cable.
Well, we've had plenty for you this week, but if you've got any of your own hacks and bodges which you would like to send in to us, you can use the hashtag GCN Hack on most forms of social media, and we'll be going through them this time next week. Believe it or not, there have actually been some other races taking place at the same time as the Tour de France. So the first one we're going to talk about is La Course, which is the women's race that takes place on the morning of the final stage of the Tour de France around the Champs-Elysees. This year's 89-kilometre race finished in a reduced bunch sprint, reduced mainly because of a series of crashes which seriously whittled down the peloton. In the end, Chloe Hosking took quite a convincing sprint win ahead of Lotta Lepista, with Marianne Vos in third.
Vos had been in action at the Thuringen Rundfahrt previously, which is a 7-day race where she managed 3 stage victories. Despite that, she didn't take the overall win. That was won by Elina Cecchini of Canyon SRAM.
Yeah, the Tour de Wallonie also started at the weekend. It's a 5-day race in the Wallonie region of Belgium, of course. 2 sprint stages took the race off from the start, with Tom Boonen taking stage 1 and Boris Valle stage 2. And as we record this, going into a hilly stage 3, it's Tom Boonen who leads the race overall. Dom has chosen 2 tweets of the week this time, and the first one actually needs a bit of an explanation. It originated from Pro Cycling Stats, who tweeted, "Best worst result at Tour de France 2016 is 45th place of Alejandro Valverde, i.e. Alejandro Valverde's worst placing on a stage was 45th. Thomas de Gent, winner of a stage, then wrote back saying, what was the worst best place? And they said, we don't really know, but we think it might be Bernie Eisel, whose best stage result was 119th. Getting on to the tweet of the week from Bernie Eisel, he said, I think you're right. Pretty consistent, or not?
Pretty consistent, Bernie. Pretty consistent. We also had this one from Simon Geschke that I think rounds the tour up nicely. So he says, things I'm going to miss this next week. Having my wash done, getting cheered on by awesome fans, massages for free, and the views during the stages.
Yeah, big come down a day after the tour, I'm sure. We've got a number of comments of the week this week. First couple of them centre around last week's GCN show with Lassie and Sai, and they centre around the same kind of subject. The first one comes from Camden Miller, who says, why must you forget Lizzie Armitstead's bit for cycling short? Seeing her face helped even out watching you guys for the rest of the show. And also Pedro FPS, where's the lady that says cycling shorts? Well, after that theme, we've taken note, and Lizzie is back in.
Welcome to the GCN show.
On what do riders eat on a rest day, which caused a certain amount of debate, Aidan Kelly chips in with, no wonder I'm slow. It's blocked legs from all the rest days. A leaf from Dan's excuse book.
Yeah,
there.
I do tend to have blocked legs quite a lot of the time these days. Drop a Seat post also had a number of comments underneath. Firstly up from Achille Broggy. What's the standard deviation? P-value? To which Timmick replied, from a sample of 2 of each type of run, it's very safe to say that the stats weren't going to prove very much.
You know what, Dan? I think, from a statistical point of view, I'm sure they know what they're talking about. But from a descending point of view, you definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I also wasn't expecting it to benefit me at all. I was very sceptical, but actually, it did feel a lot faster going around corners with a drop a seat post.
Certainly. Now, Dark Powder UK, they get into comment of the week just because they were nice.
Oh, good, finally.
Truly an innovative bit of GCN testing/science. You're an
very
innovator.
nice of you, very nice
Dan
of you.
Lloyd, innovator.
Last comment comes in from that same video from Max Z, who said, just looked, should I say, on GCN's shop, but found no official GCN can opener, which is odd. You must have one to open all these cans of worms. Well, you are right, Max. We don't have can openers on the GCN shop, but what we do now have is kids' clothing.
That's why.
Yeah, kids' clothing, which is very cute and very cool. That is probably actually the size that Sai would like to wear. We know what he's like with his skin-tight t-shirts. Available in sizes age 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, and also 9 to 11. So if you head over to shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com, you will see them there, along with this brand new black hoodie with the white GCN writing.
Very nice. And we are very, very close to selling out of our yellow logo GCN t-shirts. This close, in fact. We're not going to make them for another year, so if you'd like to state your claim, head over to the shop, get them now. There's a link to the shop up there.
Yeah, your support really does mean a lot to us, and every time you make a purchase at the shop, it helps us to make more free content.
And if there is more stuff that you would like to see in kids' sizes, do let us know. On the channel this week, on Wednesday, it's how to get your maximum power.
Trying to get your highest ever wattage is actually strangely addictive and a great little game to play with your mates.
But how exactly do you go about getting your maximum sprint power? Well, I guess it might seem simple, just sprint as hard as you possibly can. But is there a little bit more to it than that? Well, we are about to find out.
On Thursday, it's the top 5 unwritten rules of pro cycling. And on Friday, it's Ask GC Anything.
Saturday's Pro Bike is Dan Martin's Specialised, complete with Panda graphics. Then on Sunday, it's another epic descent in real time for you. And on Monday, Sai is back in the workshop for a Maintenance Monday video. Oh, and on Tuesday...
Hey, it's Greg van Avermaet from the BMC racing team. Welcome to the GCN show.
Well, you'll be sorry to hear that that's the end of this week's GCN show. But fortunately, we've got some more content coming up for you right now. And up there in the top corner is a random video selected from our incredible number of previous videos, over 1,900, I think.
And just down there is a video on how to make your bike, not you, faster.
And if you would like to subscribe to the channel, having not done so already, all you've got to do is click on the globe.
And to visit our shop and check out all the new kit that we have there, click on me.